Welcome to Common Fence Music Online. We're proud to present a series of online concerts and recorded events, thanks in part to a grant from the Rhode Island State Council for the Arts. Our first concert is Emmy and the Peas. Immediately following the concert will be an interview by Tom Perotti in a new effort called Musical Journeys. Please stay tuned.
Oh, there's the doggy. Are we live?
We are live.
Hello! Hi, EmmaLee.
Hi,
How's it
Peter.
going? Well, no, actually, I'm
Who
a
are
P.
you?
I'm
You're
a P. I'm a P.
Hi, P.
Where's the other P?
Oh, I don't know. I think he's late today.
Maybe a little bit later, yeah. So, anyway.
Where are we actually?
We're at your house.
Oh, right.
In Providence.
Right.
Yeah, Rhode Island.
No, I got a little confused because I saw the whole Common Fence, their venue.
Oh, yeah.
And then, yeah. I have been to Common Fence. It is a very nice place to go. I've seen a couple concerts there. I think I may have played a little something or other there once. And it's a good community affair. Yeah.
Nice.
I wanted to just give a quick shout out to Ed Neri for inviting us to do this. It's nice to be the guinea pigs trying this out and making some music for you tonight. And also a thank you to David Breton for running the sound and the live streaming, the video for us. So
making it easy for us. So.
It's nice to not have to worry about that tonight.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
So do you want to start with something or other?
Yeah, something or other is always a good place to start. Maybe we can play and then tell
them what the something or other
yeah.
is? Okay, yeah, why not? So let me give you a beat.
Okay. We started it hot out of the gate.
Absolutely, yeah. That was definitely something.
Yeah.
What was that?
So during this time, this strange time that we're in right now, Peter and I have been playing a lot of music together and exploring different styles of music together. And I think as a duo, we've really enjoyed playing the music of Alistair Fraser and Natalie Haas, and they are one of my favorite fiddle duos. And this arrangement that we just played was one of theirs. It's 3 tunes: the Calliope House, which is a favorite jig of mine, and then MacArthur Road and Frank's Reel.
And I should point out, actually, you've been doing this a lot longer than I have, so I'm a little bit new to the fiddle stuff. I mean, when it comes to the cello, but Natalie Haas, I think, has been a real inspiration because she's just amazing, and she did these arrangements which are amazing. She's an amazing player, so a real inspiration.
Yeah,
I
she's
think.
really
So she's really helped a lot in inspiring some of this music to come alive for sure. So yeah. You want to do another?
Yeah. So this is another of their duos, and it's called Between. It's something totally different.
You know, I think actually I read, hopefully I got this right. I think she wrote this, Natalie wrote this on an airplane, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Something.
I don't know if she's writing any tunes
Yeah.
right now, but
Yeah.
hopefully she is.
Yeah.
So, well, Emmy,
Yes. E.
have you had enough notes? I think you need a little break.
Yeah, I
right?
would love a little break.
And I need to have a lot coming up too.
Yeah.
So, why don't we? So I have this arrangement I did actually right before the epidemic. Oddly enough, it was we did a little concert back very late February, right? Wasn't
Late
it?
day.
Yeah, and so it just seems like a different world now. But we played this tune we're gonna do then, and we're gonna do it now. It's called the Londonderry Air, the famous Irish tune. Some people might know it as Danny Boy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to sing the Danny Boy version?
No, I think that your title is very nice and fits just what I want to do today.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it.
beautiful, Peter.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful, Emmy. Beautiful playing.
Well, you're the one that arranged it.
I did. But we played it.
We did.
It was a team. So, Emmy,
What?
usually when we play concerts, we don't have our phones on stage, right? That's kind
Right.
of very...
That's kind of like a
It's
unwritten rule.
At least, well, and so people understand, a lot of times, a lot of concerts we play are classical concerts with orchestras and chamber music and various things. So, I mean, in those places in particular, concert hall, if you're in Carnegie Hall, you probably don't want to whip out your phone. That being said,
Are you going to whip out your
I'm going to whip out my phone because I'm just making sure that somebody didn't tell me I need to shave or because I felt I was getting a text.
Oh, I see.
It's very distracting. So, do you want me to read the text?
If it's appropriate.
I think it is actually. It's from my wonderful good friend Noemi. She lives upstate New York. Oh, you know her.
Well, yeah,
sort
a little
of,
bit,
right?
yeah.
And she's a great violinist. And she says, "Sounds great. Love hearing you play." Thank you, Noemi. We really
Nice.
appreciate that you're listening. Should I turn my phone off? Is the question.
Well, I don't know.
So, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do something totally different. We like to surprise all of you, and I've heard actually we've done a few other live stream concerts during this time, and I've heard some reviews that people like the surprises, so we'll keep them coming.
Well, so can I introduce it?
Yeah.
So I mean, this is by a composer, Andy Stein, who probably is not most notable for being a fiddle player and a saxophone player on Prairie Home Companion. And do you ever remember seeing him when you were watching?
I used to listen to the radio show all the time with my parents. Yeah.
So, well, Andy Stein is an extremely prolific musician. It take too long to even list the incredible amounts of things he's done for movies and the people he's played with. So unbelievable musician. So, but he, to our benefit, he wrote a duo for violoncello, which has 5 movements. We're going to do 2 of them. And he's certainly an expert in different types of folk traditional music. So today we're going to do one called a hoedown. Everybody knows what a hoedown. What's a hoedown, Emmy? Do you know what it is?
Yeehaw.
Yes, exactly.
It's a little bit different hoedown than what we're used to, though. He really pushes the boundaries of the hoedown.
Yeah, right. Well, when I was a kid, I think we thought of, we used to say things like, blank kicking,
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to say that. I don't know. We'll get shut down. But anyway, so hoedown, obviously, and then the second one we're going to do is a salsa. And do you know about the salsa? What do you know about it?
I like to salsa dance, but yeah.
So you see, you realize, because there's no audience here, normally we talk. So
Yeah.
anybody have the answer?
Yeah.
So yeah, actually salsa originated in Brooklyn, I think, New York City, 1960s, or somewhere in New York City. Obviously originated from traditional music from Cuba, I believe, right? So anyway, should we do it?
Yeah. Fasten your seatbelt, Peter. Okay.
You fasten yours. That's great. I love that.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe we need a percussion part with that next time.
actually for sure. But you know what I just realized?
What?
Well, Noemi's actually kind of an expert salsa
Oh.
dancer, and I don't know. She's gonna tell us later if you could actually dance.
Yeah, I got
Probably
it.
not. Right?
You could try.
But I think it has some rhythms that are hopefully familiar.
All right, so we have been long awaiting the other P to arrive, and he's finally here. So he's gonna join us, and we're gonna play a few sets of fiddle tunes for you. Peter's gonna do a little costume change and get his
Should I close
guitar.
I just left you.
Yeah. And the first set of tunes we're going to play for you, they are, Whiskey Before Breakfast, Kitchen Girl, and June Apple. And I remembered that set because it kind of makes sense. Whiskey in the kitchen in June, right? Yeah.
Welcome, other P.
Yes, now we're complete.
Emmy and the P's now finally
Yes.
makes sense. We're not in the dark anymore.
If it is possible to make sense.
Yeah.
The title.
Oh. I don't want to.
You wanna play that on?
I don't want
the
to do this
guitar?
time. So did you just mention the order, starting with the Ren?
Oh, are we doing that one first?
Which one did you
Yes,
say?
alright. That's true.
I
That's
don't
true.
know.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. That's why there's three of us.
Well, it doesn't matter.
We're gonna get to
do
that
it
set in a
backwards
little
if you
bit.
want.
We're gonna. No, it's good. We're gonna play, as I suggested earlier, the Wren, Old Gray Cat, and Red Crow.
Yeah.
Our bird and cat theme, our animal themed set.
Piero, I have an idea. Let's see if Emmy can play fiddle tune backwards.
Probably can't.
Maybe after the whiskey.
And inverted. After the whiskey.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, where is that?
Okay. Wren, cat, crow. Got it. Okay. Here we go.
It's all in E minor.
Yeah. Okay.
fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Nice to have a little energy reinforcement.
Do you think anybody out there listens to heavy metal?
I don't know, but you should tell them. Probably.
I
Well,
do.
Oh, he does. Yeah. Well, thanks to Piero, and we discovered that there's a certain part of this tune, if I do a certain chord progression, sounds exactly like a guitar solo from an Ozzy Osbourne song called "Bark at the Moon."
Hey, you should all look it up after this.
Yeah, we got a real kick out of it. It's at the end of the song, and what Emmy's playing, and the chord progression,
Right?
It's exactly the guitar.
it's very similar to the guitar.
Yeah.
And we also can thank your parents for the chord progression
Oh, yeah.
to remind us of Ozzy Osbourne. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, I'll leave you guys.
The other piece.
You're leaving us.
Are you
Yes,
leaving?
I'm gonna take a break.
That was quick.
All right. Piero felt like he had worked very hard.
Yeah.
Because we're just sort of hanging out here, you know. Just kidding.
Okay. We are gonna play a waltz for you. It's a waltz called Amelia's.
Hopefully my cousin Amelia is listening. That'd be
Oh.
nice. Oh, another violinist.
I know there's so many of us.
Yeah, you're a
Dime
dime
a
a
dozen,
dozen.
yeah.
But not everybody can play fiddle.
Okay, I got one
So
thing.
you have
going.
some unique, things.
All right, you ready?
Mhm.
Okay.
That was beautiful.
It's a good one.
Nice job.
I'm back.
All right, he's had a little nap, a little rest. And he's back. Okay, now we're gonna have some whiskey in the kitchen in June.
Okay.
But we have to have the whiskey before breakfast.
You're right.
Oh,
Whiskey,
yeah.
whiskey before breakfast.
But we're
With
not
the kitchen
Which I
gal
don't recommend. I
in
gotta tell
June with some apples.
Oh,
Oh boy.
wow. Is it, somebody gonna write that down so we
No,
can
no.
keep track?
Okay.
Oh wait,
Oh, yeah.
a little foreign to me, all these things I have to do with this instrument. Okay.
All right. They might bother us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We might bother them. You
Yeah.
never know.
All right. Change of scenery.
Speaking of that,
Thank you, Piero.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thanks for inviting me.
I was thinking maybe, well, actually,
How much time? Oh,
after
play fast.
after the after this whole thing is over, there's gonna be a little interview played with me and Tom Perotti, great friend of mine, and they will say a little bit more about me. But Peter, where do you live?
Where do I live?
Yeah. Oh, Peter's gone. They abandoned me.
Oh, I was just looking at some technical things. What was the question? Where do I live?
Yeah.
I live in Natick, Massachusetts.
Ah.
Yeah. Why?
No, I just thought people might like
Oh,
to know. I know where you live.
Yeah, right. It's not too far from here. About an hour. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Sorry, I got distracted. I was just looking at our computer that's running this whole thing by itself, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was a little concerned that it was unmanned, but hopefully it's not.
Okay.
Hopefully everything is working.
Actually, Peter, can
Yeah.
you say one thing about this, and I'm just gonna go quick check
get
one
your
thing
phone.
actually, because yes, I think
Okay,
I may
yeah.
have.
Yeah, so I
Missed
have
a
my
couple.
phone, you don't. So yeah, for our next piece, this is a special arrangement that Emmy and I have done together, and it's 2 tunes on the Danforth and Fleur de Mandragore. How was that, Emmy? Did I pronounce that?
Ooh, that was pretty good.
That was pretty good, yeah. So we just did this week for this concert. We've been kind of going back and forth, doing some of it by phone and whatnot. But so it's it's probably perhaps inspired a little bit by Alistair Haas' arrangements that we've been doing. So we're really excited to do a world premiere of this arrangement. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not quite sure, but I think
Okay.
so. Had to just
So
do one
everybody
quick
yell
thing.
really
Yeah.
loud if you can see if everything is going
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Because we don't know. Lots of different technological machinations happen, or behind the scenes to make these things happen.
Yeah.
So, would you like to say anything else about these?
I didn't hear anything you said.
About our arrangement. Any observations
yeah.
about
No,
the process that we had the last few days to do this?
It was really fun, actually. I've never really done any arranging, and it was fun to have a little part in the arrangement. And I feel like I usually sort of give up before I even start with things like this. So it was nice to just be sort of pushed in that direction.
Well, I mean, you did have a very big part. I mean, obviously, they do all the sticking notes onto pieces of paper, but I mean, ultimately, it's a musical thing that has to come out of it, right?
Yeah, it was really fun. We need to do more of it.
All right, so
I need my pedal. Pedal. Okay.
quickly just check your area.
All right. The world premiere of our.
Nice.
I love those two tunes, so I'm so happy we did
Yeah,
that.
me too. I do too. Yeah. So. It's, everything okay over there, Piero?
Are there any messages in the team viewer thing?
He's back in.
Okay, great.
Okay. Excellent.
Just in time
All
for the
technical
final
stuff
number.
is- yeah.
All right, so we have kept you long enough. We're gonna play.
It's because you talk too much.
I
Oh no,
know.
wait, it's me. Sorry.
It's a bad combination.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to one more of Natalie and Alistair's great arrangements. This is called the high reel set, and we have the hut on Staffen Island, the barrel. I can never say this one. Barrel burn reel and the high reel. Blah 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 blah.
Whew,
Actually, before we play the last thing, I'll just give one more thank you to Common Fence Music and Ed Neri, David Breton, Tom Perotti. Thank you so much for having us, and this has been a lot of fun for us. So
Yeah,
I hope you all have enjoyed it.
Sorry.
No,
I just want to piggyback. We are so grateful because in these times, musicians just don't have opportunities to perform. So any kind of opportunity like this is just fantastic. We just, this is what we love to do, and if we don't have that, it's really difficult. And there are a lot of musicians who perhaps don't have enough to do as far as performing. So we are very grateful to everybody who made this happen. Thank you.
All right.
And thank you to everybody who tuned in to
Yes.
watch. We just
Yeah,
love
that's
that.
a key ingredient, right?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
yeah.
audience, even if it's over the interwebs.
Right, yeah. and if anybody out there wants to talk to us, send us a message, and we'd be happy to chat a little bit. So.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us. Thanks for
Thanks.
listening.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
everybody. Good night, Emmy.
Good night.
I get a fan.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, all you lovers of folk music. Welcome to Common Fence Music's Musical Journeys. Today, we're talking to EmmaLee Holmes-Hicks of Emmy and the Peas. Welcome, Emmy. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm pretty good.
Well, thanks for being here. EmmaLee is a violinist and a fiddler based in Providence, Rhode Island. Before the COVID situation, she made her living as a performer and teacher, performing for orchestras, chamber groups, contemporary classical ensembles, and fiddle bands, and teaching at UMass Dartmouth, as well as privately. She is now teaching online and has turned her living room and dining room into studios to stream concerts and record videos for many different projects. So, great. So, why was it that you got involved in music? What does the connection to music mean to you? Give us a taste of how you started.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think growing up, music was really important to my parents. They are not professional musicians, but they both grew up playing some music and played in groups a little bit in high school and college. And so we were always listening to music growing up. I grew up listening to things like, I don't know, the Nylons, Paul Simon, I don't know, all sorts of different folk music. And so when I was little, I used to put on dance shows for my parents, and I would get dressed and tell them it was time for the show. I would light the candles, create the ambiance, and I started making my musical debut by dancing to music. But shortly after that, I was visiting my cousin in Thunder Bay, Ontario, and she grew up playing traditional French Canadian music, and she would play all sorts of lively jigs and reels, and I always enjoyed listening to those fiddle tunes, and I would just sit sort of mesmerized by the music. And I think there was something in the sort of rhythmic drive of those tunes and the energy in them that really piqued my interest. And I was a super, super shy kid. And I think there was something also appealing about expressing myself with something other than my voice, and being able to play music to express what I was feeling. So.
Now, your mother plays piano. Was she active when you were a child?
She basically started playing the piano again after taking decades off when I was a kid, and after I had started taking violin and fiddle lessons, she thought it would be great to be able to play with me. So we would play my Suzuki songs together, we would play fiddle tunes together, and my dad also played guitar with us. He had also taken a long break from playing but came back to it, and he also tried to learn the violin with me. He took lessons with me, Suzuki lessons, for a little while, and he was trying very hard, but I couldn't quite take the out of tune notes, so I would plug my ears and tell him that it didn't sound very good.
Well, I know him to be a wonderful dance caller.
Yes.
In previous generations, I took a workshop in the old time string band workshop at Brown University, and I was sitting next to a violin player for a number of weeks. He was learning the tunes on the violin, I was on the mandolin. One week he comes in with a mandolin, and I asked him what happened, and he said his teacher, his classical teacher, would not allow him to play the fiddle. That was common in previous generations. You are the unique individual that seems to be able to play the violin quite well, and you put that down, and you can play the fiddle quite well. Mm. And not everyone can do that. I haven't heard really anyone else that's had that capacity.
Well,
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I went to a music conservatory for college, and I can distinctly remember trying to hide the fact that I played the fiddle to all of these high-powered classical musicians. And it wasn't until kind of after grad school that I really let those two worlds meet and gave all my secrets away.
Well, we'll see what we can do about that. So along the way, share some of the major events in your young musical experiences, some magical moments.
Well, this wasn't exactly magical, but I was just remembering, so as a kid, I would play with my parents. We called our band the Blue Ridge Family Band. And early on, my first gigs were going to the soil and water conservation annual meetings and entertaining the people at these meetings. And my parents tell me, I don't quite remember this, but my parents tell me that one of the first ones, I think I was maybe 6 years old, and they didn't have any kind of stage, and it was this huge room with probably 150 people or something. And so they just my dad lifted me up on top of a table, and I played my 3 fiddle tunes or something that I knew. It was probably Cripple Creek, Boil Them Cabbage, and I don't know, maybe Old Joe Clark or something. And that was the first gig that I had. And after that, we did many tours of the soil and water conservation annual meetings. Mm-hmm. But I would say moving on, probably as a teenager and in my early 20s, I did a lot of tours with an orchestra called the Youth Orchestra of the Americas, and we got to we would do tours. I did one tour in Europe, I did another tour in South America, and another in Canada, and it's made up of people from all the countries in the Americas. And I can just remember sitting on stage with people from the 28 countries or whatever it was, and just the energy of all those people on stage together. There was something about that culture of Central and South America that was so inspiring. And the energy on those stages was really incredible. That was a really strong memory for me.
Interesting. You've had many collaborations over the years, and we won't have time to talk about all of them. I would like to focus on the P's of Emmy and the P. Can you tell me a bit about Piero and Peter?
Sure. So Piero is my husband, and he is a percussionist. We met in grad school at SUNY Stony Brook, and he grew up, he started kind of late in his musical life. He started playing kind of late. He was about 18, and he played mostly classical music until he met me. And we have enjoyed playing in a lot of different classical ensembles together, contemporary classical, chamber music, and as a duo, and also in orchestras. But we've also gotten him to join the family band, and he likes to play percussion with us back in Illinois and in the Midwest, and some out here as well. And Peter is a good friend of mine. He plays mostly cello and plays in a lot of classical groups, but he also grew up playing guitar in garage bands and rock bands and things. And he and I have done a lot of performing together where we play both classical and folk music and fiddle music. And so after discovering how much I enjoy playing with both Piero and Peter, we thought it would be fun to try all three of us playing together. And so far we haven't played a whole lot together, but the concerts that we have played have been a lot of fun. So we're hoping to keep developing that ensemble.
That's great. As we look toward the future, what goals do you have? What musical goals do you have for yourself?
Yeah, it's a weird time, you know, in the music world right now, and it's a little bit hard to think about the future, just not knowing when we'll be able to perform in live venues again. But I would say in the short term, I'm trying to take advantage of this crazy situation and really push myself to learn new things. I've been trying to get more comfortable with improvising. I'm trying to learn the good chopping technique that so many great fiddlers do. I'm trying to just build up my technique in general. And I've been doing some fun recording projects with some of my folk friends where we do distance recording together. And so I want to keep building on that. I think this is a great time for us, Piero, Peter, and I, to be developing our repertoire together so that when we do get to perform for live audiences, we have a lot of experience playing together and repertoire to pull from. So yeah.
Do I understand correctly that you all live under the same roof in the same apartment house?
Oh, that's a good question. So Piero and I live in a house with downstairs neighbors who are musicians and amazing friends of ours, but Peter actually lives near Boston. And when this whole situation started, we decided that he was going to be our one person that we were going to see outside of our household. So I feel lucky to have picked him to be our quarantine partner. But yeah.
You live in an interesting part of Providence, your neighborhood. You get it out and around in the neighborhood and see
Yeah,
other.
it's a beautiful time, you know, to be outside, even though it is strange to have to go out with our masks and everything. But yeah, I love this neighborhood. I love the West Side, and I feel like even in this current situation, people are. I can still sense a strong feeling of community, and yeah, I love this area.
Any other observations about this crazy time that we're experiencing?
I guess just personally, I feel really lucky to be surrounded by Piero, Peter, and our downstairs neighbors who are all really inspiring people, and people that are not letting this situation take them down, and who are staying really motivated and all trying to explore new things. And I feel like if I didn't have that, it would be a pretty difficult time for me. But because of that, I've felt extremely motivated and sort of excited to just dive into projects. So that's been really nice.
We're getting to the end of our time here. What would be your message to young musicians? I know you've spent a lot of time as a teacher. I met you through the Newport String Project in Newport, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
But what do you have to say to young musicians?
Yeah, I think maybe the biggest thing, one of the biggest things for me is to just stick with it, even when it seems like you want to quit. I've had many of those moments where I just wasn't motivated to practice, or it didn't sound fun to spend the time learning something. But I feel like the more time you put into it, the more fun it gets, and the more you can play with other people, which is one of the best parts of being a musician. And I think that also just allowing yourself to explore all the musical worlds that come at you. So for me, that was fiddle and classical, but there's so many different musical genres and worlds that are so fun to explore. I also think for me, a recent thing that I've been reminding myself of is just that when you're playing music for people, you're giving them a gift. And I think that's important to remember. You're not trying to play perfectly or to play for yourself, but you're giving something to your audience, and that's a great gift to be able to give. So
That's a great way to look at it. EmmaLee, thank you very much. Emmy, as you like to be called. This has been wonderful. Thank you very much. I'm
thank you.
looking forward to your concert with Emmy and the Peas at Common Fence Music at 7 p.m. on Sunday, May 24th.
Great.
So
Thank you.
We'll see you in a virtual space at that time. Thanks
Okay.
again. Have a
You're
good
welcome.
day. Bye.
You too.